The MindShift podcasts are brought to you by the Quantum Living Corporation and are based on the emotional alchemy principles of Dr. Craig Farney, whose goal is to rewrite the human operating system, one thought at a time.
Welcome to MindShift with me, Dr. Craig Farney, your emotional alchemist. MindShift is where neuroscience meets transformation and your old emotional patterns finally meet their match. I can help you rewire your thoughts, reconnect with your inner truth, and reclaim your life from false beliefs. So join me on this MindShift journey. Let me start by telling you what emotional alchemy is and why I call myself an emotional alchemist. Alchemy is about the process of transformation. In medieval times, it was about attempting to transform lead into gold. Wouldn't that be nice? Emotional alchemy is about transforming raw, painful emotions like fear and sadness and anger into peace and joy and love. It starts with awareness, being aware of what we feel, where in our body we feel it, and ultimately why we feel it. Then instead of avoiding or judging these emotions or feelings, we meet them with compassion and curiosity. From there, we can begin to decode the story underneath the emotions. What beliefs got wired into us somewhere along the way? Most of us are living out the same old tired story unconsciously that I'm not good enough or something's wrong with me. Emotional alchemy is about rewriting that story, not only in our mind, but also in our bodies, in our nervous system, and in our choices. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about remembering what's whole. And that's my job as an emotional alchemist, to help you rewrite your story and remember what's whole. This is where the journey begins. So, why are you here? Why are you watching this podcast or listening to this podcast? Do you want to know why it exists? You see, a lot of the world revolves around the word if. What if? What if this? What if that? What if there is something fundamentally wrong with you? What if, no matter what you do or what you accomplish, you're just not quite good enough? What if you find yourself repeating the same old, tired, unhealthy emotional patterns no matter how hard you try not to? Well, guess what? You're not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. You're just programmed. And programming can be changed. Trust me, I know, because this has been my journey. And that's why this podcast exists. Because I want to help others overcome some of the challenges they've believed their whole life. So, let's talk about 3 of the core principles of the philosophy of emotional alchemy. Number 1, these flawed beliefs that I've talked about, they're developed very early in your life. In fact, most of the time, they're developed before the age of 5, and they can actually even be inherited. That gets really weird. So because these beliefs develop before you're actually consciously aware, we tend to subconsciously and unconsciously reinforce these beliefs all the time. In fact, it's been said that as much as 95% of what you think, do, and feel in a day is just a subconscious routine. Now, the reason I'm here is because I believe you can choose to become aware and reprogram these beliefs. So let me tell you what you can expect from this podcast. First is knowledge. I've had a lot of experiences that have given me a lot of knowledge, and I plan to use this knowledge to help you gain awareness, which gives you a better understanding of your emotional patterns. Number 2, I've also developed a lot of tools that can help you rewire your thoughts and change the way you think, which will help you harness and guide your emotions as opposed to just be controlled by your emotions. Which leads me into the third thing, which is guidance. Through meditation, through coaching, through awareness practices, I can help guide you to better manifest your truest self. Fourth is healing. Healing in your relationship to yourself, healing in your relationship to others, healing in your relationship to God or to whatever other aspect of life you struggle in. And finally, and most importantly, is freedom. Freedom from those painful emotional cycles that they bog you down and they keep you from being your truest self. So let me end by extending this invitation to you. If you like what you've seen, subscribe and follow. And take the time to reflect on it and apply it to your life. And more importantly, if you know somebody else that can benefit from it, please share this with other people, because this podcast is much more than a podcast to me. It's a way for me to reach out and help others. It's a way for me to put the emotional alchemy into action. Join me on this mind shift journey so we can change the way we think.
Thank you for joining the Mind.Shift.Podcast today. If this resonates, Dr. Farney would love to hear from you. Leave a review, message him on social media, or visit www.docerlifecenter.com to learn more about Dr. Farney and his approach to wellness. Until next time, keep alchemizing. The content of this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional mental health, medical, or therapeutic advice, diagnosis, or treatment. While Dr. Craig is passionate about emotional healing and personal growth, he is not acting as your personal therapist, counselor, or healthcare provider in this format. If you're experiencing significant emotional distress, mental health challenges, or physical ailments, he strongly encourages you to seek support from a licensed professional in your area. By listening, you agree to take full responsibility for your own well-being, decisions, and actions. You're the expert of your experience. This podcast is simply here to help support and inspire your healing journey.